Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. If you can hear me, please let me know in the comment section. Good evening. Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Okay. Okay. Good evening. All right. So welcome back to class. So yeah, cool. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for confirming that. Thank you very much for confirming that. Okay, so I think we've done all this. So where we stopped last class, that's actually where I'm going to continue today. So in the last class, we spoke about JavaScript, and then we all know the main purpose of JavaScript, which is to add interactivity to our web application, so website. That's basic thing we use JavaScript for. And then we said JavaScript is a programming language. We also said that too as well. So yeah, let me move to where we stopped in the last class. So I believe when I say variable now, if I should ask you what does variable mean, I believe I should be able to get a suitable answer for variable. If I should ask what variable means now, I believe I can get a suitable answer for variable. Can someone tell me what do we mean by variable? When we mention variable in JavaScript, what do we mean by variable? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. Okay. Ah, it's hard. No, I'm asking variable. If I say variable, what do we mean by variable in JavaScript? Variable is a reference to a memory location or assigning values. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. A variable, exactly. That holds exactly. Oh, good. Exactly. We know that variable are just like a container, and then they take in content. So it is what is inside the content that actually defines what we give the name. Like for example, if you have a bottle and then we put water inside that bottle, we call that bottle water bottle. Now, if we change the content that is inside the bottle, like let's say we put tea inside, we don't say give me water bottle anymore. We say give me the tea. That's what we say. It's just like having a mug too as well. If you have a mug and then you put water inside, you say pass me the water. But if the content is different, like let's say you put tea inside or you put coffee inside, you said pass me the coffee. So variable is just like a container, like you guys said. So cool. And I'm very sure we are actually getting ourselves okay. So I'm very sure we are already getting ourselves familiar with what we mean by programming language. I know exactly. I know we've been seeing a lot of things. JavaScript is actually one of the core parts of web development, or core part of technology, or core part of tech in general, because you use JavaScript to do a lot of things. You use JavaScript for front end, you use JavaScript for back end too as well. So yeah, we have I'm going to continue with what we mean by break statement. So I'm going to open my VS code now so we can actually see how it goes. So let me just pull up my VS code and then show us how break statement, how it works. I'm going to show us how it works now. So okay, cool. Let me create my VS code screen and create a file so we can so I'm going to stop sharing. I'll share my screen now so we can see. I'll share my screen exactly. So yeah. Okay, so I hope we can all see my screen now. I hope we can all see my screen. I'm sharing my screen already. So I'm going to create a file, a index.js, or let me just give it script.js. Script.js. Okay, cool. Cool. Ah, okay, good. So I just created index.js. So I'm going to zoom my screen so we can all see my screen very well. Okay, good. So I believe everyone can see my screen very clear now. We can all see my screen very clear now. Yeah. We can all see my screen very clear now. So yeah, what we are actually discussing today, we are discussing okay, I want to pull up this slide so we can actually see what we are talking about. We said statements, in the last class we saw a lot of things in the last class though. So we are going to be seeing more because JavaScript is just one part. Like I said earlier, it's actually one part of web development that is very, very crucial. Very, very crucial. All right, cool. So now when we say break, I'm seeing something in the comment section. Some people say I should explain again. Ha, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Control, control flow, zoom inside. Yeah, I've zoomed already. Someone said we are continuing with control flow in just let me just check that up. So I think maybe I'll start from statements. Maybe I should start from if and else statements. I think I should start from there. That should be fine. If and else statements. If and else statements. Yes, I'm going to start from if and else statements. So that's how I'm going to start today's class. If and else statements. Because I'm currently checking this is all the comments. I'm seeing a lot of things here. Let me start with the if and else statement. I think that we should be fine with that. We should be fine with that. Okay. No problem. I'll start with that. I'll start with that then. I'll start with that then. All right. So the first thing I'm going to say with if and else statement is just that when we are talking about programming, there are things that are involved when we are talking about programming. Basically, when you say you program something, definitely you are giving it set of instruction. Oh, this is what you do, this is what you shouldn't do. That's what I mean by programming. Programming is just like giving your computer a set of instruction. Oh, this is actually what I want you to do. I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do this. That's just what programming is all about. When you're already you have your data structure, you have your decision making. That's the basic thing you have with programming. So when we are talking about if and else statements, how does it work now? It's just like saying, okay, so it's just like saying, I want my computer to do a particular thing. So how am I going to write that now? So now, when we say if and else, if I write if you look at my if now, I'll just select this. Now, if I have my if here, the next thing I want to have is condition. That's the next thing I want to have here. This is syntax. You have your if, you have your condition inside this now. Inside this parenthesis, then this is where you now have everything, like any of the instruction you want to give it. So now let's say for instance I want to I'm seeing something in the comment section. Okay, cool. So now let's say I have I have const age equals to 12. I mean somebody's age equals to 12. As I just said now. Const age equals to 12. Const is just like naming a variable. When you want to name your variable, we have ways of naming variables. So const age equals to 12. That's what I just wrote there. Now, what's the condition I want to give it? So the condition I want to give it is, okay, anybody that is less than 18, I will tell them, sorry, you are not old enough to play a particular thing. It's just that I want to gatekeep. Okay, let's say, there are some events, there are some movie, you don't want people, or you don't want children. Don't let me use children. You don't want some set of people to like have access to them. So that's the program we are trying to build now. So let's say we have const age equals to 12 now. And then I don't want anybody that is less than 18 to have access. What do I do here? What I will just write here is my condition. I will say age, sorry, I'll just come here. I will say age is what less than 18. So what I'm basically saying now is that if age is less than 18, if age is less than 18, what should happen? That's what I'm saying. Because this age now is variable. It's holding a particular data. And what the data is holding? Is holding 12. That is what is holding. If you can look at it very well, is doing age equals to 12. So definitely that means our age has turned to 12. That's a number. So I'm saying if age is less than 18, what should happen? Now, what should happen? I can decide to say, oh, you cannot have access to this thing. So now I'll just use my console.log. I'm very sure we've seen the console.log. So I'll just use my console.log here. So I'll use my console.log and I'll put, okay, console.log, you are so young. So now, if I say you are too young now, I just say you are too young. That's what I just said. So I've given this I've written an instruction. I've written a program that is, if anybody, like if your age is less than 18, you can't come in. Now I'm going to create okay, we have one index HTML. I'll just scroll down. Okay, let me just take all this out. Let me just take all this out because I'm actually doing external this thing now. I'm doing external linking. I'm very sure we all know what I mean by external linking now. So I'm just going to put my script here. So let me just type script here so I can have what I want to have. So I will say script.js. All right, so this is my script now. So now if I should copy this now, I'll copy the part and then I'll paste it on the browser so we can actually see what we are seeing here. See what I'm having here. So now I will go to my pizza. If x, hey, someone said you can just okay, sorry. If x, or if, is it if x, if and x, I want to get, we have if and else. The reason why we call it if and else is that anywhere we have if, we do have else. So when you have the good, you have the bad. Do you get? They are what are opposite. When you have the good, you have the bad. Do you get? So if you have if, you have to have else. It's just like if the condition is not true, what should happen? Do you get that? If your screen is blurry, please try and increase your video quality. That's what you meant to do. Is it if and else? Not if and else. Please, so it's not if, it is not if and x, so if and else. That is, you are saying no. That's basically you are saying if and else. If and else. Okay. So now let me just let me share, let me copy. I've copied the part already. So I'll just go to our browser and then I'll paste it here so we can actually see what we are talking about here. Okay. So don't worry, I'm going to share my browser screen now. I'm going to share my browser screen. I want to go to my browser. So we can all see what I'm saying. Bit. Okay, so let me save this and then so let me share my browser screen so we can all see what I'm talking about. You are seeing if you are seeing if I wrote if. I said I'm starting from if and else. So what I just did now is if. So I will I'll share my browser screen now so we can actually see what I'm talking about. So now look at this now. This is my browser screen. You can see it is actually showing you are what? You are too young. That is what it's showing. You are too young. That's what we are showing here. You are too young. So now if I should go and change that age, let me change it to like let's say 9. Let me control S. Now let me refresh again. You can see it's telling me that I'm too young to what? I'm too young. It's saying I'm too young to actually enter or to actually watch the movie. That's actually what this is. Then this is trying to tell us. Exactly. All this. Please don't forget how you check your this on the browser. I did console.log. That's what I use to check. That's what we develop. That's what we use to debug anything we have. Console.log. Please let's note that because it's very important. So let's move on now. So let me just share my VS Code screen so we can see what we are actually talking about. Okay, so now why I just did that, if you are 9 years old, your age is what? Less than 18. You cannot enter, you are too young. Now I cannot have my else statement here. So I can say else. That is, if this age now, if this age is what? if it is not if it is not sorry, if it is not less than 18, what should happen? If I say, oh, I'm 18 and okay, I'm 9 years old and there's a movie rated 13. Now obviously I can't see that movie because I'm 13 years old. Now I wrote a program that if you are less than 18 years old, it will print you are not, like, you are too young. Now the else statement will be the negation of what I just did. That means I'm going to be more than 9 years old. That is, if I'm more than 9 years old, it will tell me you are old enough. So now, if my age is 9 years, what is it going to be telling me on the browser? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. You are too young. You are too young. That's actually what it's going to be showing me. Very good. Very good. So now, what can I do to make sure it shows me you are old enough? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Okay. Okay. Exactly. 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 Your age has to be greater than what? 18. Your age has to be greater than 18. So now let me now change it to my age is greater than 18. So I'm going to write all this code here. So like so we can actually have a good class. So I will say const age equals to 9. Equals to 9. If age is greater than 18. Sorry, I'm trying to write everything out so we can actually see what. Okay. Yeah, I'm all checking. Good, 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 good. So now, what I'm going to be doing now, I don't want to be switching between browsers. I don't want to be switching between browsers. So I want to have a way of checking my code from my terminal here. I want to have a way of checking my code from my terminal here. I'm very sure that's actually going to be fine. You don't have to worry yourself about it. But I want to know the way I'm switching browsers is actually causing some kind of break. So I don't want to be switching between all those since I can actually check my code in the terminal here. So I'll just come here. Okay, good. So I want to be taking my code in the terminal. Please, I want to be taking my code in the terminal. Don't bother yourself about it yet. Don't bother yourself about it yet. Don't bother yourself about it. Just look at my endpoint. Just see it as my what? As my browser. Just see it as my browser. Okay, now, so I hope we are getting this thing. All right. So now we all said if my age is 19 now, if my age is 19, and then I run this code. If I should run this code, you can see it's printing you are old enough. That's actually what if and else statement is all about. You get, you have an if statement that is your true statement, then you have your else statement that is negating the condition. Do you get? That's actually what we mean by our if state. Change the variable const age to bigger. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, okay. So I'm very sure we are all cool with the if and else statements now. If and else statements now. So now going forward, we now have something called else if. We have something called else if. Okay, good. So now we have something called else if. So now what else if is just like saying that, okay, in life like this now, we all have plan A, plan B, plan C. So now if plan A no work, you check plan B. If plan B did not work, oh, that means plan C. So that's actually what the else if is all about. So now if I have else if, now else if is just like saying, oh, if what your plan is not working, oh, then we can actually move to what? Plan B. Yeah, that's why I just explain if and else statements to us now. I just explain if and else statements to us now, and I'm very sure a lot of us should not have any issue with it. We should not have any issue with if and else statements now. So now let's say age is what? Let's say age is less than, let's say, okay, we want to pound some people. Some people actually let's say 17, and they are feeling like, should be, we're almost of age now, we should be able to enter. So we want to say, okay, if age is now 17, what should happen? We can say, okay, so let's say consider log. Let's say, okay, okay, you can sit at the back. You can sit at the back. That is, we just give them an opportunity to at least, okay, let's not say, oh, because they are 17, they will soon be 18. They will soon be 18. Let's just give them an opportunity to actually have access. So now if I just save this now, and then I have 18 here. Let's say I have 18. Let me put it to 18 exactly. So now what will it be showing me in the browser? Like what will I get as my this thing? What will I get? Let me know in the comment section. What will I get in the comments based on the code I just, like, based on what I just, like, the code I wrote now? What will I get in the code? What will I get? I mean, you can't view your code on the browser. You can only view it on the console. Sorry. Someone said too young. Someone said you are old enough. Okay. Someone say I can see. Look at the condition very well. Look at the condition very well. I said if age is less than 18, it will show you are too young. Now, if age now is now less than 17, that's what I just did now. If age is less than 17, it should show, okay, you can have your seat at the back. So now we have, you are what? You are old. That is, if all those conditions are not what? Are not met. Okay, so let's not waste much time. So let me run the code and see. So now you can see we are getting what? You are what? You are old enough. You are old enough. The reason why we are getting you are old enough is because what? Age here, 18 is not less than 18. If you look at it very well, if you say 1 and 1, 1 is not less than 1. Do you get? It is only if I say, okay, if age is equals to 18, if I say age equals to 18 now, look at the answer I'm getting. You are too young. That's what I'm getting in this analogy now. But because age is not less than, if I say 18 is not less than 18, that's why I'm having what? I'm getting this answer here. Let me put it up again. You are what? Old enough. Did you get this now? Did you get this now? Please don't look. I said it earlier. Run your code on your browser. Run your code on your browser. Don't run it on your VS Code terminal. I don't just want to be switching screens. That's why I'm doing all this. I don't want to be switching screens. That's why I'm doing all this. Please. Okay, cool. So now I've explained if and else statements. Please, if and else statement is very important. It's very, very important in programming. It's very, very. Does that? I don't get the question. Does that mean any age less than 18? I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get that. Thank you very much for saying that on the comment section. For now, run your code on your browser. I don't want to be switching things. We are using VS Code. That's actually why I'm doing all this. That's what I'm doing all this. That's what I'm doing all this. So now we can move on. We can move on now. Yeah. So cool. So now we have something. We have loop. We have loop. We have for loop. So now when we are talking about loop now, basically, it's just like saying you want to perform a particular task over and over and over again. That's what we mean by loop. When we say we loop something, you want to perform that thing over and over again. That's actually what we mean by loop. So we have different kind of loops. So the first one we are going to be looking at is for loop. That's the first one we are going to be looking at, for loop. I'm still seeing a lot of things in the comment section. See, don't worry. All this code I've written now, try different number, run it on your own code as well, so you can see the answer and get the whole concept very well. Yeah, if you change the distance to 10, check it on your browser and see check what you are going to see. Check it here and check it on your own from your own end too, so you can see what you are going to get. So we are going to be moving to loop now. We are moving to loops now. So loop now. How does how does it work? How does loop work now? So I said when you want to run a particular set of instruction over and over again, that's where you use loop. When you want to run a particular instruction over and over again, that's where you use what? Loop. So now I'm going to be writing the syntax now. So the syntax for writing our for loop is like this. So you have your for. So now after having your for, the next thing you want to have your start, you want to have your stop condition, and you want to have your move. So let me just put it this way. So I will have start. I want to have my start. I want to have my stop condition. I want to have my stop. Then I want to have my what? Move. I want to have my start, I want to have my stop, and I want to have my what? My move. So what do I mean by start? When I say start, that is where my code is going to start from. That's what I mean by start. So what I mean by stop condition is that, okay, at this particular point, stop at this particular place. That's what I mean by stop. What I mean by move is that, oh, when you do this, if the condition is true, okay, move to the next one. That's actually what I mean by move. So you are going to see what I'm talking about now. So I would say my start, I would say let I equals to 1 or equals to 0. Now my stop, now I would say this is my stop. I would say whenever we have I, at this I is less than or equals to 10. If I is less than or equals to 10, that's where you are stopping. That is, anytime we have I is less than 10, okay, it will still be working. But now anytime we get to 10, that means our I is going to stop. You are going to see the result and see how it works. So now, what is my move? Now my move is, I want to be, when I say I want to be increasing, I want to be increasing my condition. No, when I say I equals to 0, obviously we know that 0 is always going to be less than 10. We all know that 0 is going to be less than 10. So now I need to have a condition, because if I don't have that condition very well, I will run into an infinite loop. And what I mean by infinite loop, that is, the program will keep running over and over again, and it can actually run down your laptop. And we don't want that kind of thing to happen. That's why we are having our condition. Do you get? So now, what I move now? So if I say move, I can say move equals what? Plus 1. That's what I want to say. Plus 1. So now in JavaScript, you don't have to write your plus 1. What you just need to write is what? Put plus plus. When you say plus plus, it means what? Plus 1. That is what it means. So no, I wrote this code from the beginning, so we should be able to follow along. This is our what? Our start, our stop condition, then our move. I said everything like from onset. So now, here like this now, what do I want to do in the middle here? What do I want to do in the middle here? So I want to have my okay. I'm still checking everybody. Oh, okay. So let me just run my code. So let me just say console.log. Let me console.log I. So when you see the result, you now know how it actually works. When you see the result, you will see how it works. All right. So let me just comment all this my if and else statements. Let me comment it and then save. So I'll just scroll up and then I'll run my code again. So now if you look at my code actually what listed from 0 to 10. From 0 to 10. You can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's actually what my code does it now. What I just did now is that I just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I said, okay, let I equals to 0. That is where we are starting. I equals to 0. Where we are starting is 0. Now, when we are stopping, when are we stopping? We are stopping when your I is less than or equals to 10. That is, if I is less than 10, we are fine. But now, when it's now equals to 10, break. That's what we mean by stop. That is, the code should actually stop at that particular point. Now, you know that your I is always going to be less than 10. 0 is going to be always less than 10. So if we don't have our move, that is our adding plus 1 to it, it will cause a very huge issue. That's why we have it that way. That is okay. Be incrementing, increase it plus 1. When this code is going to go like this. Just look at my cursor. It's going to go like this. When it sees 1, when it sees 0, it will go like this. It will come down. It will what? It will print 0. Now the code is going to run again. When it goes like this, when it's running again, it's on 0 like this now. So if it's running again, if you get to this our 1 plus plus, it will what? It will turn it to 1. That is 0 plus 1. Now when it is 1, it will go over again. Is 1 less than 10? If it's less than 10, good. It will go. It will add 1 plus 1 again. 1 plus 1 is 2. That's where we have 2. Plus 1 is what? 3. It will go again. 3 plus 1 is 4. It will go again. 4 plus 1, 4 plus 1 is what? It's 5. It will go again. So it is going over and over again. Like I said, when you want your condition to go over and over again, that's where we use loop. You said, can this be done on Android phone? Please, I will advise you to use laptop. For you, I will advise you to look laptop. I will advise you to laptop. So now look at this condition very well. We just said I equals 0. I've explained this over and over, and we all saw the result. So let's say, for instance, if I put my I as 5, now look at where it starts. It started from 5. You can see, because that's where I wanted to start. Do you get? Now let me now reduce this to 9. My 10, and then so you can see the results here. So look at the results now. It is showing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's actually what it's showing. It's showing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is, my stop is what? 9. Do we all get this now? I've explained it. I said 1 plus plus means plus 1. I plus 1. I plus 1. I plus 1. I plus 1. That's what 1 plus plus means. It means plus 1. I wrote it earlier. It shows that we are not actually not following. Please, let's follow. Let's follow. Let's follow. So we can actually, that's what I'm writing. That's why I'm writing it step by step. So as we are following, definitely you should be able to understand. You should be able to know when I said I plus plus. You should be able, you should even see when I wrote I plus 1 in my code. Very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. So now you understand when I say stop and start, when I say stop, and when I say move. I'm very good. I'm very sure that's actually fine now. I'm very sure that's actually fine now. Please, if you are swipe back and then watch it again. If you are lost, swipe back and watch it again. You can actually swipe back and watch it again and then meet us, like, because we are our time is also limited too. Our time is also limited too. Okay, so now we now want to move to break statement. Break statement. How does break work now? When I said we're going to start from break statement. So how does break work now? So now let's say, for instance, in my code now, let me just bring this down. In my code now, I want to have my condition, my if condition. You can see I'm going to be using my if now. So let's say if I equals to 6, what should happen? What should happen? So I will say, I will instruct my code that, okay, I will say console.log. So I will say I is equals to, let me say I is equals to, and then I'll put my plus, and then I'll put, don't worry, don't, okay, let me leave this now. Let me leave this now. So you can say break. If I say break here, look at it now. We say we are using our break statement. I just wrote my if statement inside my what? Inside my for loop. I just wrote my if statement inside my for loop. That's what I just did. I just wrote my if statement inside my for loop. So now, if I should say, okay, if I equals to 6, right? I can say console.log. Let me remove the console.log here, because I don't need it anymore. So I'll remove this. So I want to say the code should what? Should break here. So if I should say the code should break here and save, let's see what we are going to get. First clear my this thing. So let's see what we are going to get. Look at it now. Look at it. Can someone tell me what just happened now? I said when I equals to what? Equals to seed. What should happen? I just said it that my code should what? My code should break. That is what I just instructed my code to do now. we've not even have we've not talked about return yet. 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 You get, we've not talked about, and all these things you can actually rewatch them and then try it on your own. You can also rewatch all these videos and try it on your own too as well. Do we get? We can watch it on our own too as well. We can watch it on our own. Can watch it on our own too. Aha. So now we now want to look at, you already know that, okay, when my code equals to what? When is equals to what? When I equals to 6, my code should break. Now, but you say if I equals to what? If I equals to 8, that's when it should break. Now, look at it now. You can see it ran 5, it ran 6, it ran 7. But now, when it now equals to 8, the same my code stopped. It stopped. That is, it didn't show 8. It actually stopped at 7 because that is the condition I just gave it. Like I said earlier, when you're writing programming is more about instruction. You are giving it instruction. This is what you should do. That's basic thing you just did now. Did you get? That's basic thing you just did now. So we've learned about if and else statements. We've learned about our for loop, and then we've learned about our break too. Exactly. So now let's now learn continue. So now let me say I wrote continue here. Look at it. If I should write, we said, what am I saying? So now I wrote continue here. So let me just clear this code and then run this again. So now if you look at it now, when I used continue, something happened. He wrote 5, he wrote 6, he wrote 7, but he skipped 1. He skipped what? He skipped 8. That is what I'm saying is that, Oga, when you get to 8, skip it. Skip 8. Don't show 8. That is what our continue statement, that is what is all about. That is what our continue statement is all about. If I used break, please don't bother about checking it on the terminal yet. That's why I said earlier, don't bother about that. Use the browser. The major reason why I'm using my terminal to check is because I don't want to be switching screens. That's why I'm doing that. So don't bother yourself about it now. You are still going to learn it, but so I won't be switching screens. That's why I'm doing it. Exactly. Continue skips. Very good. Thank you very much for saying that. So I believe I believe we now know how if and else statements work, how our for loop statement, how it works, how our for loop work, how our continue and our break, how it works. All right, good. Good. So we are going to be looking at function now. Please, if you're not getting the whole thing, you can come back and rewatch. See, no one is saying you should get the whole concept now. No one is saying you should get the whole concept. The thing is, oh, you are learning now. You are learning it now. You don't have to know it in the class. You know it at home, basically. You know it when you're on your own. That's when you know it. You don't know it now. Do you get? You don't know it now. I just explained. Continue. When we use continue, we definitely skip. Continue, we skip. I just said it there. Okay. So now we have function. We have function. So basically, when I say a JavaScript function, basically is a block of code designed to perform a particular task. That's what you're actually doing. You can actually have a function that actually perform a particular task. You can say, oh, this is actually what I want you to perform. I want you to go to this place. Do this code. I want you to go to this place. That's actually what we mean by function. So function is just like a block of code used to perform a specific task. Someone is asking what's the difference between break and continue. Please you can drag your video to the back. You can drag it to the back, and then we watch and see when we explain that. So we don't have much time. We don't have much time. That's why we're not able to cover CSS like that. Please, I want everyone to start following. Please, let's follow. Let's follow, please. Let's follow. Let's follow. Okay, so function now. So function basically is more about is more about is more about you have a particular set of code that's actually, oh, this is actually what it does. Like if I should have my function here, let's say I have my function, then okay, this is my function name. So I can give my function, I will say my name. So I can have I will say this particular function. What's the essence of this particular function? The essence of this particular function is to print my name. So let's say I have console.log. So I will say welcome to Incubator Hub. Welcome to Incubator Hub. Now that I have this now, that is what I want this function to do. So now, if I have that function, the next thing for me to do is what? Call that function. That's the next thing for me to do. Call that function. Do you get? Call that function. That's the next thing to do. So how do I call the function now? How do I call the function? You just simply come here and call the name. I can say my name. So now when I now call my name, I now put my what? My parenthesis there. So when I put my parenthesis there and then save my code, if I should run this script again now, you will see what will happen. Now you can see it's printing welcome to Incubator Hub. That's actually what it's showing me. So you can see this particular function. If I say, oh, show me something like this, anytime I call it, it will perform that particular task. So that's why I said a function is just like a set of code that is used to perform a specific task. That's what we mean by function. I believe we get the whole thing here. Look at it very well again. Look at it very well again. Very good, very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. Thank you very much. If you don't get it, you can actually rewatch. If you don't get it, you can rewatch. So I don't like explain over and over again. I don't explain over and over again because there's a video already. The video is already, at least let's be considerate. So do you get? Let's be considerate. So we don't have to explain ourselves because even if you are rewatching and you can see that I'm actually explaining over and over and over, it will even get boring to you. It will get boring to you. Yeah, it will get boring to you. So if you don't get, this is actually where we are going to be stopping the class for today. Please make sure you mark your attendance. Make sure you mark your attendance. And if you don't get all these things, don't worry. You can actually come to the Telegram community. Come and ask your question there. I'm going to answer you in the Telegram community. So this is where we are going to be stopping for today. So if you have any question, just paste it on the Telegram community. I'm going to come to the Telegram community and answer all the this thing. You get all your questions from there. But please, before you ask me question, make sure you watch this video very well, because if you ask question and then it has been answered in the video, it won't be okay. So I'll be repeating the same thing. Do you get? So thank you very much for joining the class today. Exactly. Function must be called before it works, because you've written is JavaScript is for the strong, like you said. Yes, it's for the strong, I must say. So thank you very much for joining the class today. Right.